Hi and welcome to our tutorials on VG software. In this video, I want to show you how to use VG metrology together with GelSight Mobile to perform a surface roughness analysis. Of course, you could also use VG Studio Max in exactly the same way. But I will be working with VG metrology. For this to work, you need the GelSight Mobile software running in the background. And if you are using it in combination with an Hexagon Absolute Arm, which is the most suitable setup, you also need the RDS running, which is Hexagon's interface software to the Absolute Arm. I have prepared a project here, in which I have already scanned the part on which I want to show you the surface roughness analysis. Now, it's important that I haven't physically moved the part since scanning it. Only then can the GelSight measurements be imported to the correct location. Of course, you can use GelSight without the Absolute Arm, and just look at patches of local surface roughness without any information where on your part they are located. There are two ways to get a GelSight patch into the software. Both are under File, Import. You can either import patches that were already acquired with GelSight Mobile, or you can create them directly. I want to create the patches directly, so I will choose GelSight Acquisition. Now the dialog is open, but not quite ready yet. You can tell because you see no preview. Refreshing does not help either. In this case, I'll just go to GelSight Mobile and refresh the live capture. Then the acquisition dialog is in the state where I can actually capture something. For the first scan, I'm going for a distinct geometry that I can easily find again, like, for example, a part of the logo. And before importing, I choose the existing scan as the object that I want to align this scan patch to. Now, you can clearly see that this patch is nowhere near to being aligned to the scan. That's because we capture the position of the patch with the Absolute Arm, but the system has no information about the offset introduced by the GelSight devices holder. In later versions, you won't have to worry about this. For now, however, you will need to configure this offset once. Here's how it works. First, I align the patch to the scan. After that, I can simply open the settings and have all necessary information automatically taken from this alignment. I will use geometry elements and I will fit them to positions that I can easily identify on both scans. For example, the V first. A plane on the face surrounding the V, so that the patch won't be tilted later on. And then 3 points inside the V to get the correct rotation. And then I'll repeat that on the scan. With both sets of geometry elements done, I can go to Alignment up here and choose Sequential Alignment. The reference object should be Scan 1. Then I'll select Plane 1 and use it as primary mapping. For the secondary mapping, I want all 3 points. To make that work, I have to switch from Align Geometries to Align Positions. I'll click Finish, and voila, the alignment is done. Let me quickly hide the geometry elements. I don't need them anymore. Now, under File and Preferences, there is an extra section for GelSight. As I already mentioned, in future versions, this will be prefilled. But for now, I need to select the patch from which I want to take the alignment. I only have the one, so there's not much of a choice. And then I just click on Copy From. You can see that the matrix underneath is now filled in. And unless you change the holder with which you connect GelSight to the Absolute Arm, you won't have to worry about this anymore. So I'll just close the dialog and get back to creating more scans. As before, I go to File, Import, and GelSight Acquisition. And when I now update the dialog, I'll get the preview. To keep the scene somewhat organized and clean, I will add the new patches to the same group the first one is already in. I also want to align the scans to scan 1 again. In this case, that's not really necessary, since I didn't move the scan away from its initial position. But if I had aligned the scan to its CAD or by some data elements, it would be important to select this option here, because the software then knows from where to where the part moved. This means that the GelSight patches will again be imported in the correct position on the part, whereas if I don't select the scan here, the patches would be floating in the air around where the part was before it was aligned. But enough theory, I will quickly create a couple of surface scans. Four should be enough for now. Let me import them. And now I'll make the cube slightly transparent, so you can see the different surface scans, which are now nicely aligned with the part. And now we can finally set up the surface roughness analysis. I just have to make sure the correct mesh is selected. Then I'll go to Analysis, GelSight Roughness. Let's check the Create Annotations option here. The most convenient way is to create the analysis on one mesh, and then copy and paste it to the other surface meshes. I'll right-click the whole group and choose Update All Analysis. This way, I don't have to click on Calculate 5 times and wait for the calculation to finish 5 times. And voila! Here are the results for the surface roughness analysis. If there are tolerances for the surface roughness, you can conveniently specify them in this dialog here. And with that, we've come to the end of this tutorial. In this video, I showed you how to use GelSight in combination with VG software to perform precise surface roughness analysis. Have fun trying it out on your own. I hope you enjoyed this video. You'll find a list of all our tutorials on our documentation landing page via Help, Show Tutorials. Plus, make sure to register on Nexus and make it your go-to place for sharpening your expertise. Get access to this video and other information material to get the best out of our software. And visit the VG community to exchange ideas, ask questions, and discuss topics with other users and our Hexagon experts. And stay up to date on the latest news and developments. Register now, a world of insight awaits. Thanks for watching, and see you soon on Nexus.